this lovely little article that I came across today. So apparently, the title kind of says it all, but apparently Nintendo is requiring some of these like charity speedrunning events to have permission just to speedrun Nintendo games. Now, I'm just going to say this outright. This is fucking ridiculous. And I think this sets a bad precedence going forward, and not just for like the one that they're doing this to, but going down and looking at it. So this was mainly done to like a Japan speedrunning event, and so which is set to kick off later this week. See some of the speediest gamers, yada 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 yada. And again, they're also doing this for Doctors Without Borders, which, as you know, GDQ does the same exact thing, but yet, event organizers explain they were contacted by Nintendo back in June. So this isn't just an out of nowhere. This was like, a month or so in the more than a month, actually like 2 months now, long going thing, legal entity. So yeah, no, this is ridiculous. Like the fact that they contacted them this long ago, and the fact that Nintendo's legal team is the one going after them for this is crazy. They would have to ask for permission in advance if they wanted to feature any Nintendo games in the event. What's more, Nintendo apparently stated that all previous instances of Nintendo games being streamed from the event are now considered unauthorized use. So first we get the Smash Brothers tournament that is being shut down by Nintendo. Now we're getting speedrunning events that are being shut down by Nintendo. Has long featured Nintendo games as its lineup. Obviously, GDQ is the same thing. But Nintendo's interest this year seems to stem from the event's relatively recent transition into an official legal entity. The event remains non-profit, with all proceeds going to charity. Now, I want to say like transitions into like relatively recent 2020 transition into a official legal entity. Now, I don't know if this means that there was something like, and I get it, this is in Japan and whatnot, so like maybe I know their laws and whatever are different than here in the US, but I don't know if that means that they did some kind of paperwork or did some kind of filing to where they're it kind of changes like their status or whatever, like as a charity event. I don't know jack shit about this kind of stuff, but that's kind of what I get out of it. So maybe they did something as far as like the branding for it that could have caused them to like get hit with this. I don't know. But regardless, isn't necessarily the end of Nintendo's RTA appearances. Organizers state that they are working with Nintendo to get permission for the future events. But the proximity of the summer 2025 event meant that the team couldn't possibly get all permissions through and approved in time. So that means they had to like individually go through and get Nintendo's permission for specific speedrunning games that are Nintendo games, so that they weren't able to get permission for every single one of them. Now, let's take this to the next step, because obviously we know that Nintendo's obviously not going to stop here, because if they're willing to go after, one speedrunning event that does Nintendo games, they're probably going to go for more. So the fact that now Nintendo is targeting speedrunning events that feature Nintendo games, this is crazy, ridiculous overreach. And the fact that, I mean, this is they're really starting to show some true colors here, because as we all know, Nintendo doesn't just stop at something like this. They're going to go after other speedrunning events, and it's probably only a matter of time before they start targeting like GDQ and like the ESA, which is like the European speedrunner thing. So yeah, no, I definitely do not see this stopping here. And Nintendo is like, in my personal opinion, Nintendo is becoming like one of the worst fucking gaming companies currently, like in this current generation. With everything else they've been doing, they're showing like an increasingly amount of like greed and just like, I almost want to say it's like childness, like childish like attitude, like throwing temper tantrums anytime somebody even so much as mentions the word Nintendo. So yeah, no, this is just crazy. I can't believe that I'm living in this kind of timeline where you now have to have permission from Nintendo just to speedrun a game at a charity event. A fucking charity event of all things. This is just baffling, and especially with like the amount of games that GDQ does that are Nintendo related. And I'm surprised they haven't gone after GDQ before, because I know that GDQ does a lot of like ROM hack kind of speed runs, or like randomizers, and we all know randomizers, you know, the way randomizers are done. Obviously, it's not, you know, technically a base game, so I'm surprised Nintendo hasn't tried to go after them for that. But yeah, no, like this is wild shit. So yeah, no, I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's just crazy.